This is going to be a film where I break ranks with my fellow contemporaries, people on my side of the political spectrum. I'm going to have to aggressively disagree with them on this topic. And I know I'm a little late to this, but I feel like my opinion is unique because so many people like this film, and I just legitimately don't understand why. And this film confuses me. The atmosphere around this film confuses me. The cultural significance of this film confuses me. And it bothers me. It legitimately bothers me. And it's not because the film is good, because it's not. And it's not because it's bad, because it's not. I certainly didn't pay to see this movie. I pirated it. I don't give my money to pedophiles in Hollywood, and I certainly don't give my money to these production companies that make all this normie cape shit. And this is normie cape shit. Let's just keep it real. People pretending that this film is avant-garde, that it's it's on the same level as Blue Velvet, Gangs in New York, Phantom Thread, Grand Budapest Hotel. It's not. It's none of those things. It's not a good film. It's bullshit. It's fucking garbage. It's soulless trash. Yeah, it was well shot. Yeah, it was well acted. Yeah, the score is pretty decent. The writing is the worst. It's boring. It's tedious. Well, let me just go ahead and read some of the reviews that were highlighted that are actually accurate, that was pointed out by Paul Joseph Watson. It's fucking weird, but let's see. So from the New Yorker, this is what they state. A movie of cynicism so vast and pervasive as to render the viewing experience even emptier than its slapdash aesthetic does. Absolutely true. From The Guardian, bleak and juvenile. Well, keeping it short. Brevity is the soul of wit. Of course, people who like the Joker wouldn't know that. If you're feeling insufficiently anxious in your life, Joker could be just the ticket. If not, look elsewhere to be entertained. And this is from Slate, from Dana Stevens. Joker is a bad movie. Yes, it's predictable, cliched, deeply derivative of other better movies, and overwritten to the point of self-parody. Absolutely true. 100%. This film was not good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was meh. That's my official review of the film. Meh. Yeah. But Paul Joseph Watson, opens his mouth, does a soy boy face, and just sucks the cock of this Cape movie. Am I surprised that this film was incredibly mediocre and just soulless? No. What is there to expect? I mean, my expectations going into this were incredibly low. I'm not one to be like, oh well, Todd Phillips is going to totally pull this out of his ass. The person responsible for Due Date and The Hangover comedy series. Yeah, he's going to create something that's going to be like avant-garde status. Bullshit. Paul Joseph Watson is wrong in stating that the modern left tried to cancel this film because it didn't toe their political ideology. Well, it does. That's another thing. People are like, oh, well, this is they tried to cancel this film. No, they didn't. And it's just like, ideologically speaking, this film was aligned with the modern left. The characters call the Wayne family fascists for like no reason whatsoever. They're like these little banker kids, and they got killed, and their deaths were celebrated in the film. Not because they were, kicking the shit out of the Joker or accosting some female being all rude, but because of their perceived status in society. And again, we're supposed to be thinking that this is like some far cry to the alt-right. This is this film's going to give permission to these loser white males to go out and commit gross acts of violence. And this is what the fake news journalists were saying. They were saying this film is going to, it's going to, what's it called? Invoke or inspire mass shootings. There were police camped out in the fucking theaters, and there's just a lot of hysteria, and it was manufactured. And what makes it even worse is these people saw the fucking movie. They had early screenings of the film. And now you got some jackass like Paul Joseph Watson saying, oh, well, the film's not towing the line. They're not towing the political ideology line, and the modern left is publishing these articles to cancel it. That's bullshit. People really believe that. Like, his video has over 1 million views. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then, of course, people on the right watch it. And then, of course, one of the main reasons why Paul Joseph Watson thinks this film is like good and amazing is because the people who hate it are ideologically opposed to him. Well, I don't really do that whole ideological possession type bullshit. Granted, I guess I'm a conservative type dude. I'm a pretty reasonable guy. But this just because somebody I know doesn't agree with me on everything doesn't mean I'm going to like everything they detest. Sometimes the things that they don't like, I'm likely not going to like. It's possible that it goes either way. And there's a lot of people on the right who like things that I don't. And the Joker is one of those things. Like, I literally do not understand the appeal. This film is so fucking bland. It's so vanilla. And it's being talked about as if it's something that it's not. It isn't anything that the right says that it is, and it's not the things that the left says that it is. And people go on saying, "Oh, well, the film is about a decadent and hollow society. It's about the postmodernism and the failures of urbanization and blah 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 blah." The film doesn't say anything about those things at all. Like at all. Like, legitimately, it doesn't. It's about ostracizing lonely white males, and the fake news industry doesn't want a sympathetic lonely white male character to make a point that shows them in a sympathetic light. No, that's not it either. And like, this guy was like, the Joker had a fucking job. He had friends, but he's a dumbass. He's a fucking retard. He does stupid shit. He brought a fucking gun to a children's hospital and he got fired for it. So it's like, oh, well, he lost his job. Woe is fucking him. No, he got what he deserved, dude. The guy's a retard. And he's a high-functioning retard. He was able to hold down a job. He's able to go out in the world and do shit. He was able to take care of his mother, which isn't a fucking easy thing to do. But, he fallen through the cracks. Yeah, like him losing his free health care or whatever. Yeah, shit sucks. And I guess you can, I guess that's where the film is supposed to get interesting, because he's not receiving his medication. So now he sees the world for what it is. He sees things more clearly now, all of a sudden. And he had an awakening because he's not a slave to big pharma or whatever, however the fuck you want to phrase it. And, one of the pivotal moments in the film, there's two of them, but the main one is where he goes up on the stage to do comedy, and he fucking bombs. He bombs so hard, he can drop that shit over the curds. Shit bombs so hard. And there's this Robert De Niro type character, and he has this like show, like the Johnny Carson show, like this late night show. And he makes like a dad joke, like, oh, hopefully your mom doesn't see that. Ooh, I don't remember. It was some fucking dad joke. It's very safe. Well, the Joker doesn't take a liking to it. He's upset. He's heartbroken because he fantasizes about the De Niro character being his dad or something, because he grew up without a father. And again, that's the right, like, oh, this is what happens when you don't have fucking fathers in the house. It's like, oh, dude, please shut the fuck up, man. Like, for one fucking second, dude, like, you people fucking, inject politics into everything just like the right do. And it's so tiring and stupid. But anyways, he goes up on the show and he fucking goes on this, this shooting spree. He kills a couple people or whatever. And it's like, oh, well, they laughed at him. They shouldn't have laughed at him. And we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, you go, girl. Yeah, you kill all those people who laughed at you. It's like, dude, like, can you imagine if we lived in a society where we weren't allowed to laugh at people who fucking do stupid shit? Like, people go viral every fucking day because of their stupidity. Like, they're riding their bike, they get their pants caught in the chain or something, and their pants fall down, and they shit themselves because they're scared or something, and then they fall over, and it's really embarrassing, and everybody laughs, right? We laugh in unison. It brings people together, the laughter. Like that, kind of like that grape lady. She's on that at that vineyard. She's stepping on the grapes and she's cheating, and then she falls over, and she's like clearly she's clearly medically stressed out, and we're all laughing at her. She almost died. And can you imagine if these people ended up wielding a firearm and going into a supermarket and be like, "This is what you all get for fucking laughing at me," and it's just like, no, we're not gonna be sympathetic to them. Fuck them. They're fucking dumb. They did stupid shit. And or not even that, like, sometimes they just make mistakes, they goof up and people laugh, and then we move on. And of course the Joker didn't handle it well, and he elects to go on this murder spree, as if this is a good thing. Oh, this is what society gets, and people think, oh, this is so profound, this is so avant-garde, this is art, this is artistic, this is a watershed moment in cinematic history. Bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Like, seriously, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. Goodness, man. Yeah, he's like, oh, this is what happens when society humiliates the fucking, these lonely men. Society didn't humiliate the Joker. He brought that all upon himself. People are trying to, you got to stop trying to make a case for sympathy and empathy for loser shitheads who make poor decisions. When you deride, when the right derides liberals who also make poor decisions, like mutilating their own body, face tattoos, or taking on thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt. We mock them. We mock them because that's what they get. They do stupid shit. They got to get mocked. The Joker did stupid shit and he got mocked. That's just plain and simple. He gets fired from his job. He fantasizes about shit that's not real. He fantasizes about his love interest, his fake love interest, and then I guess she rebukes him, and something horrible happens. I don't want to fucking spoil it, but another one of those pivotal moments in the film was the scene on the subway where he's laughing like a goofball because these banker bros they were like accosting this chick. And she didn't like it. They were asking her to smile. This is like the way that the characters were written. Again, very juvenile. The person, Todd Phillips wrote these characters as if he never met fucking like a banker in his life. It's so low resolution, so it's a fucking cheeseball ass garbage. And then the bankers, for no reason, they just start kicking the shit out of the Joker because he's just giggling and laughing or whatever. And, the Joker's like, well, fuck that. He defends himself. He had every right to fucking shoot these morons. But there was this one individual who ends up crawling away and he gets shot in the back. And here's what I would have done to have made this movie a million times better. He would have turned himself in, or he would have reported the attack, and people would be like, oh, well, it was self-defense, and have like a debate about whether or not this happened, or whether or not this event was self-defense or murder or whatever. And then the Morty character would bail him out of jail because he saw him, he was he was the guy who bombed on the comedy thing, and then he was involved in this thing. So it would have been a really interesting moment for the show. And then he could be like, oh, well, you're just using me. I'm just a little pawn in your fucking scheme or whatever. And that would have been interesting. And then, then you could have made a legitimate case where it's like, well, the clown is being treated like shit because he defended himself against these rich assholes who were, kicking the shit out of him, and, they nearly killed him. And that would have made this so much better. There was just, a few fucking lines of dialogue in it, but boom, instantly better. And again, this is what I do. I write. I'm a good writer. And before I got ill, I did a lot of voice acting. And again, I didn't expect greatness from fucking the guy who did The Hangover, but I expected people to not fucking fawn over this film the way that they have, because it legitimately makes no sense. I don't want to be a hater. I legitimately don't want to be a hater, and I'm not hating on the film too much because I get it. It was well acted. It was a break from all the stupid shit that's released, because a lot of it isn't good. A lot of the films out there are just soulless garbage, and unfortunately this is soulless too. It's cape shit. It's normie garbage. It's consumer whorism. It's everything the right claims it wants to hate. Here's what I genuinely believe. I believe, and if someone like Paul Joseph Watson can fall for it, of course the fucking more normie types, the more boomer conservative types are going to fall for this bullshit too. They thought in their mind, well, the fake news industry is saying all these bad things about the film, therefore it must be good because people I disagree with don't like it, therefore it's going to be awesome. They fucking fell for it. And I honestly believe these journos purposely lied about the film, and they manufactured all this hysteria around the film just to get people to go. Everyone's eyes were glued to this film. because of the hysteria and the fear surrounding it. There's going to be mass shootings. There's going to be murders because of the film. Like, it's so fucking obvious, and people fell for it. It's why I didn't pay for this to go see this film. I'm not going to be like, I'm just immune to the propaganda. I'm above the propaganda. I'm above this bullshit. I love art. You want to go see some real shit? Go watch The President. It's an Iranian foreign film. Go watch Border. I think that's Norwegian. Go watch Blue Velvet, Phantom Thread, Grand Budapest Hotel. Like that's fucking art, dude. That's art. You know, just, man, I could go on. But the Joker is not it. All this cape shit, like that's not art. It's propaganda. You know, Alexander Iñárritu is right. All this shit is just right-wing cultural genocide bullshit. And it's cultural suicide. It's cultural suicide. It's cultural genocide. It's garbage. It's legitimate garbage. The only exceptions that I can think of is maybe Dread. And oh god, what was that other one? The one from Zack Snyder, The Watchmen. Those films were ahead of their time. Those films were excellent. I mean, I'm sure there's like a couple other films that were kind of, you know, loosely based on the comic books. They're not coming to mind. Maybe like the first Iron Man was decent because that actually tried to actually, you know, incorporate, the traditional elements of a story, and they did it really well. It was kind of simple. It was a little more simple. It was too simple for my taste, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I can't say that for the majority of these other, you know, the more modern cape shit, type cinematic films. They're bullshit. It's bullshit. Everything about the film was bullshit, and people fucking fell for it. And I'm just weirded out by it. Like, I'm just so weirded out by it. And here's the fucked up thing: both the left and the right lied about this film. They fucking lied about the nature of this film, and they both fucking enjoyed it. It is so weird. It is so bizarre. And I'm just like, I'm looking around like, does anyone else notice? Does anyone else notice this? But me. I'm not going to fall for it. And Todd Phillips was like, oh, they're trying to cancel Todd Phillips. Go look at his Internet Movie Database page. Look at all the fucking projects he's going to be involved in the next few years. Yeah, they were trying to cancel him, all right. What a fucking awful take, dude. Even people like Paul Joseph Watson can be full of shit. Like I said, I like Paul Joseph Watson. I generally agree. And I'm an ally, all right? I'm a friend. But man, this is just a bad take, and he's not the only one. I don't want to single him out. He's just the more prominent figure. He's the more high profile person who ended up fawning over the film. So I'm kind of singling him out. So I apologize for that. Again, I'm no hate towards Paul Joseph Watson, but this take was bad. It legitimately was bad. All right, guys. So I just got to get this off my chest, man. It's really something I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're safe, because there's a lot of crazy shit going on out there with that coronavirus. So yeah. That's all I got, guys. Peace out. Have a good night, good day, wherever you may be in the world.